Hello my friends, welcome to the metal shop. We're in the adjunct garage today. A little change of pace from the Jeep. Working on my 89 Mustang today. So the other day when I was driving home, I had an intermittent check engine light come on. Now I've owned this car since early 2003, so by my count that's 15 years. And believe it or not, I have not had the check engine light come on even once during the entire time that I've owned it. For 1989, this car was actually pretty sophisticated with the onboard diagnostics that it has. You know, low oil sensor, low coolant sensor, low washer fluid sensor, blah blah blah. But the OBD1 is what was really sophisticated. You know, for diagnosing the EEC4 series engine management, system that Ford had designed for this. So I didn't really know that much about it. I'd heard some stuff about guys using a paper clip as a jumper to check fault codes. And I remembered, back in the old days, we didn't use a paper clip, we used a little section of wire. And so anyway, what you do is to check the fault codes in this. There's no handy OBD port underneath your dash. Is located up here, the driver's side front area near the firewall. Now here, these two are your OBD1 diagnostic ports, or sometimes they'll say EEC test. Now there's supposed to be a cover covering these. Mine did not have the cover. It was either it was discarded or it never had one. I've been messing with these cars for years, probably going back to 1987. Honestly, I've never seen the cover, so oh well for me. But anyway, these were completely gross, dusty, and dirty. So I did clean them up with a can of compressed air just to blow all the dust out, and then some contact cleaner and lubricant. Sprayed those down real good in preparation for the test. Here's a jumper wire that I had made previously, and in the old days what you would do is you take this jumper wire here and you could plug it in to the little tiny gray port here, and if you view this thing like a house shape, then the upstairs right hand window. So you plug the jumper wire in from here to the upstairs right-hand window there. And what you would do then is you get back in the cab and you count. The check engine light would flash to give you the codes. Now that was a very non-specific way to check codes. It's hard to read. Was that a pause? Was that not a pause? It would count. So for a code, say 83, it would flash 8 times, brief pause, then 3 times, longer pause, move on to the next code. It was not a good way to use the check engine. Now Ford, even back in the day, what they had was they had a code reader that they would plug into this, but again, it was very non-sophisticated. What it would do was it had a red light that would blink and it would beep. And plus they had better training and they knew what they were doing, so they could more accurately test the codes. But times have changed and there's better products available. So thanks to Amazon, I ordered this on Friday afternoon, even after my drive home, and it's Sunday today, and this came Amazon Prime on Sunday. I've cheated, I've already kind of snuck in here. And what we picked up from Amazon is the Innova Ford Code Reader. Now this is just so much better. This will store codes. This reads you the codes and gives them to you in numbers. It's a much better, much more sophisticated piece of equipment. This comes with a book as well. Now the book is worth, this is $20 by the way from Amazon Prime, but the book itself is probably where a good portion of your money is. Sorry for that horrible camera work. So but the book, the owner's manual tells you how to run the diagnostic tests, but it also gives you all the codes, and it kind of explains to you Ford's logic with the EEC4 management. So that's a good thing right there. And I picked up a extendable harness extension, 6-foot harness extension. This is kind of nice. This lets you run the code reader into the cab of the car when you're going to read your codes, because you're going to have to do various tests. And quite honestly, when you plug this, you see there's no, that's where you're plugging in. There's absolutely no length whatsoever. And what I've seen guys doing, some good videos out there on YouTube, by the way, on how to use the Innova tester. But what guys do is, they plug it in here, and you got to set it down just so. It's really hard to read. Now I've cheated a little bit. I broke into the package earlier and I read up on how to use it. But we have to do a key on, engine off, or KOEO test first. We're gonna do that test, and then we're gonna check stored codes that are in the memory of the system, the EEC4 system, and then we're gonna do a key on, engine running, or KOER test to complete the loop. So I'm going to, and most of these tests they want you to do on a vehicle that is warmed up. So I am gonna get this thing warmed up. I'm gonna get this thing hooked up, and we will go from there. All right, my friends, so I got everything unpacked. I'm sitting in the car, and all I did was plug this in, the extension wire in under the hood. I ran it through the window and here. Now I've already run the tests, but I'm gonna run the key on, engine off test for you just as a demonstration. The key on, engine running test is performed exactly the same way, only instead of just turning the key on, you start the engine. And I am going to show you what I found. So, with this on, turn the key on, ignition on, we're going to start the test. And you hear it's checking the fuel pump, and you can hear some clicks and some stuff. It's checking a bunch of stuff under the dash, opening solenoids and checking for circuits. And you see the flashing icon, the little square there over in the corner. Now 11, that's outstanding. 11 is all systems clear. That means I have no fault codes in the key on, engine off test. That's fantastic. That is exactly what you want. What it's going to do now is it's going to take a pause. That 10 code, when you read the manual, it just tells you that's like a, all right, everything's good. We're moving on to the next section of the test. That's what number 10 means. So I have 22, and this is in continuous memory. So this is a saved code that the computer has saved, over time. So I have 22, and let's see if we get anything else. Sorry, this is kind of boring. And 95. Okay, great. And now I know, because I ran the tests, kill the suspense, those are the only codes. And now they're going to repeat that 22 and 95 were the only ones that I got. So I'm going to shut this off. You hear it test the fuel pump again, does the thing. So we're going to go to the manual here, and I'm telling you, the manual is makes it worth, the $20 for the thing. For the code reader, you get the manual is everything. Now, so 22 is manifold absolute pressure. Your map sensor is out of range. Okay, now that's actually a concern. So that means that, intermittently, because it's a saved code, there's something wrong with it. Get yourself a pencil too. I wrote down the codes here in pencil. So the 22 in C in continuous memory is the map sensor is out of range. So that thing's probably gone by. I also have a 95 in C in continuous memory code here. So let's see what the 95 is. Now the EEC4, the cars through 93 have 2-digit codes, 94 and up have 3-digit codes. So what was it? It was 95. Fuel pump secondary circuit fault. Now I'm not sure what that is. I'm gonna have to study on that. The car starts and runs. This is a heavily modified car, so I'm guessing it probably has something to do with the second fuel pump. I've changed the fuel pump in tank. I have a T-Rex pump in line. Probably has something to do with that. So, all right, I'm gonna give a brief pause. I am gonna do a key on engine running test for you guys just to demonstrate that. So let's stand by. So quickly, we're gonna do the key on engine running test. So first things first, let's fire this thing up. All right. just wait for this thing to get a good idle going. Okay, good. Now we're going to turn the code reader on, and we're going to press test hold switch. Begin the test. See the little arrow here in the bottom corner is lighting up, indicating the test is going. Check engine light is also flashing. So the 8, the little cylinder icon, is just indicating that it's an 8-cylinder car, so that's good. It knows that we're an 8-cylinder car. Finally started counting codes. See the check engine light is flashing too. Alright, we got 12. That's a pretty low number, that's probably good. It's probably nothing bad. Code 94, and R is their designation. O is for off, C is for continuous memory, R is for running. Okay, 94 and R, and it's important for when you're looking up the codes. 44 R. It seems like a lot, but trust me, I've already gone through this. It's really not too bad. 18 R. So again, I've previously done this and I've jotted these all down. I believe that's the last one. Yeah, we go back to 12. And it'll go back to the last code, or the first code, and it'll hold. I just want to show you guys something kind of cool. It's just running the test over again at this point. 94. So we already got that. So watch this. We're going to end the test. This is cool. And it shuts the car off. Awesome. I'm going to turn off the key. So, I have already looked these up. And code 12 is the RPM at idle is out of range. Now, that's okay. I have an Anderson Ford Motorsport PMS system, the piggyback controller for this, for a modified, engine. It controls, engine spark and timing and fuel and everything else. I have my idle set high. It should be 850 from the factory. I have it set at 1,000, so that's okay that we have that. Code 94, air diverter solenoid fault. And okay, that's fine. I have eliminated my the thermactor, the air pump. It's you guys know what I'm talking about. You Mustang guys know. It's an old ancient kind of emission system that pumped fresh air in front of the catalytic converters. I have eliminated that. So 94 air diverter solenoid fault that means nothing. 44 again is also a thermactor failure. That means nothing. Now number 18 I'm not sure about. 18 says the tachometer spout. It's like a ground fault. So I will have to check into that. So I did get a couple of codes to check into today. That map sensor, that's 22. I'll have to look into that. And the tachometer spout, I'm also concerned with those two. So cool. I'm going to end the video today on that. Just a brief, the Innova Code Reader for EEC4 OBD1 for you Foxbody guys out there. I'm sorry, maybe it's a little boring, for the channel, but it's absolutely relevant. So, as always, my friends, I'd like to thank you for watching. I do appreciate your support. Please give me a like. Please subscribe and recommend my video. We're getting there, my friends. The channel is really expanding by leaps and bounds, and I really do appreciate your support. All right, awesome. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.